Yo, 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 yo. What up, yo? What up, yo? Pop it, B. Yo, 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 yo.
Bro, shut up. Oh my goodness. What's up, guys? There's nobody here. I'm just gonna say hi. Ah,
Yo, 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 yo.
he's still yo-yoing.
Yo, 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 yo.
Crazy, right?
Yo, 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 B, yo, B, yo.
OVO XO. What's up? Alright,
Ooh.
so guys, I am
Who
what is
took the
beautiful.
charger? Oh, no.
So I've been playing around with building AI agents, and
Yo,
this
yo,
is
yo.
the most
Oof.
ridiculous thing that I'm doing right now.
Why did you messing with me? Yo, yo, yo. Whew. Don't worry about it. Nobody's joins our pod. We just relax and hope people like us eventually.
Yeah, eventually, maybe one day, someday.
Maybe, man. Maybe, you know. This is how I feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working on a joke today, right? And I was like, I was working on it in my head, and I was all like, being married is like being an Olympic swimmer who can never get in a pool again. And then even when you do see a pool, it's like kind of like full with pee and look like kids been in it all day, just filled with kid pee, and it's like that kind of greenish bluish color where you know it's pee, right? And then you kind of like, ah. That's all I had so far.
That's what mine is just like.
Yeah, it's like being an Olympic swimmer who can never get in the pool again.
No, man, marriage is like having a collectible toy.
A collectible toy, something which you never open.
Yeah, that shit that's be on
So
the
you never
shelf.
opened any. I don't get it. What
You
is that?
should,
How is that? What is that? I don't get it.
because it's almost as though you're supposed. It's just like so. The way that people see marriage always makes it seem like it's so perfect, but in reality,
I think
it's
that's how
really
women
not.
see marriage. Men always are like, "Fuck."
Well, I mean, I just think in general,
No, that's
even when you're talking to like a random stranger, no one expects to hear your problems. All they expect to see is perfectness.
no, that's women,
I don't think that's just women. I
bro.
think,
That is 1,000% women. No guys out here thinking marriage is just it's so
well, it's not.
wonderful.
It's not about
If you
it
wait,
being.
me, I'm talking. If you ask a man, what do you think marriage is? He's gonna be like, "Fuck, bro, probably hell." Like men are not. No guy is going to be like, "Marriage is perfect. It's so much fun." Like no guy will ever
Well,
give you the answer.
when I say perfect or fun, it's just more. If you were supposed to talk to married people,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah,
What about it?
they would say that, obviously they'll prefer their business to be left in the house and to be all over the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So when they look at marriage, it's a from a picture perfect standpoint of things stay in the house, things don't come out the house. But in reality, marriage is like so different for each two individuals that like actually go through shit. It could be small shit, big shit, tiny shit, like it just it's but it's some bullshit. And I just don't think like all men just be thinking like, yeah, marriage sucks. Maybe that's like majority, but I can't sit over here and be like, there's gonna be a man who says marriage sucks. And I do know that there are people who think also like marriage is like so perfect, but it's just more like
Well, I'm just saying that
marriage is good.
how you tried
People
to
see
describe it
it.
just now, I was just like, there's not a man on earth who would describe marriage as that.
Well, I don't want
Even
to.
if they aren't married, you could ask a child what he think marriage would be like. He'd probably still say, "Oh, hell no."
Well, I don't want to like talk about it to be like so perfect that you can't even like acknowledge the fact like yo there could be some people in the whole goddamn world that actually like don't view marriage as so terrible because some people also do things like if you're gonna get married, you're married. Somebody you want to be married to, you don't just like force the marriage. So I don't know. I just have like a different perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I don't no. Pretty sure most men view marriage. That's why even when you date men and you have to try to get them to marry you because they don't want to get married. Like
I mean, to be honest, like you could be with somebody for a whole bunch of years and never get married and be the same bullshit like if you were married. So
I
like
know, but
I
why
don't
do you think people
understand.
go through that? I'm saying like men don't just be like, oh yeah, marry. Like it's just not a thing.
I don't think like marriage is majority a man thing. I think it's more of
I didn't say it was
idolized
a
shit.
man thing. What are you talking about?
It's not something that men look forward to. They don't care about it. They don't. It's not a man thing.
Oh
Like, does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like just not something that men. Society hasn't raised the men, not of any culture, to be like, yeah, this is what I need to do. It's not like you
It's
know.
not about society. Society tried to raise men to be like, this is what they try to actually. Hey.
You need to go.
What you doing?
Just go. Go.
They try to actually,
Go.
but if the
Go.
thing with men is that I put it to you this way. I remember like when I was growing up and shit, like the men who I seen was married, they were pretty much controlled by their wives. And then the men who weren't around, who weren't married, were just pretty much called deadbeats because they weren't with their kids and shit. So, I mean, it never really seemed like a good. I mean, I think even for like his kids growing up around like married men, most times I know things might be changing nowadays because like nowadays more men are in the house with their kids than ever and shit like that, right? But I think from the past, just a lot of boys we didn't see like a good situation. Like even married men looked like they were just miserable. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't look appealing.
I mean, like a lot of things obviously don't look appealing. I think it's more about trying to figure out like what could you want to build, or like is that something that
To
like
build. What do you mean? Ah, never mind. Don't answer that. Forget even answer.
I just like to say I think there's some people who don't care about doing things a certain way. So if you don't care about getting married, if you don't care about marriage and to that sense, then if you just
I,
want to go and have a baby with
I
somebody,
think
then go
most
have a
men don't care
baby.
about
Like,
marriage, but the female cares about marriage so much that it's just like you got to do it. But
mm,
and then also I just, like it's just something where like if you don't care about it that much, then like what's the big deal if you do it? Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah, if you don't care about it that much, then what's the holdback on like just doing it if
Yeah,
it's so unimportant,
it don't really
like,
matter. So.
right? But obviously, it is so important that it's like almost nullified
I
for
mean, I
majority of
understand men with
men.
money really being scared not to do it, but if you ain't got no money, like
I mean, there are
why?
prenups that you could get.
But that shit don't work, bro. I tell you this shit all the time.
Yeah, but we don't feel the same way about it. You don't believe prenups could work, and I
Cause they
believe they
get
do.
thrown out all the time.
Well, I don't agree with you on this. I can't sit here and do that because everybody's prenup have not always been thrown out. Like somebody's prenup worked, and like it's worked over 25 times.
Only prenups that work are the prenups where the wives want it to work. If she don't want that prenup to go through, that shit ain't going through. She gonna claim emotional distress. They're gonna throw it out.
I mean, if you emotionally distressing me, that's not my fault. That's
Oh,
yours.
see, look. Bullshit.
That's why it's called emotional distress.
No,
Emotional.
emotional. No, it's not because you're emotional distressing me. Emotional distress is she's gonna say I was in emotional distress when I signed the prenup. She's gonna say I felt pressured. I really didn't want to sign it. That's all she has to say, and then they throw it out.
Look, I just don't. I don't agree with you because everything is a contract. So I don't agree with you.
Okay, let's Google it then. Let's chat. This one talk. You ask Chat GPT.
I just think like some prenups can get thrown out, but yeah, most prenups don't. Like some people do prenups before the day of their wedding. They sign that shit prior to, so it's not hard
Mm-hmm.
to understand
Some
like what's
people
going on.
agreed to sign their prenup on their wedding day. This has happened before. I remember it happened. What's his name?
I know we
And
don't.
then
That's
when
the only story you have. What are the story
on
you
the wedding
have?
day, she said, "I can't sign
I
it."
know, but then I ask you like, what are the story you have that's like backing up your so
Oh, what you mean, like the
solidified
prenup's getting
fact?
thrown out?
Yeah.
Dr. Dre wife got their prenup thrown out, and that shit was signed 20 years ago. As soon as they got divorced, got in the courtroom, she said, "Oh no, I didn't want to sign that." They threw it out.
Who else?
Who else that shit got signed out? Reggie Bush. It got thrown out with I mean, there's at least 10 to 20 fucking rich men this shit happened to.
And again, it's because you're signing stuff on the day of your wedding.
It's not about you signing. No, that shit was not signed on the day. I just brought up an example of when they was supposed to sign on the wedding day because she agreed, said she was gonna sign it. But those other people, that shit wasn't signed on the wedding day. She just, when they got divorced, she was not gonna go with that prenup. She's like, "Fuck no, give me half."
Divorces are messy. I mean, it is. Divorces are basically a I hate you party.
I understand, but I mean, they signed the prenup. They was okay with it throughout the entire marriage. But the second it actually came down to, oh, you not getting half this money, they, oh no, no, oh, like yes, they do it all the time.
Again, I'm not saying no. I just also believe like there are times where prenup it means
The only
something.
time a prenup works is when the woman allows it to work. As in, okay, we signed on this prenup that if I leave you, I only get 5 million. I only want 5 million. I'm fine with that. And if they accept that and they're okay with that, that's the only time it works. Because if she won't have, that bitch will get half.
It depends on the state that you're in.
Shit.
Like for instance, I believe like Florida is a 50% state, so it's like really hard for states that usually give 50% to each spouse to be that you come in here
But
and argue like
Florida's
I want
also
all.
passing, Ron DeSantis passing a law to fix alimony. So like women who've been getting alimony for like 20, like I remember this lady in like West Palm Beach was like she's been getting alimony for 20 fucking years. He's like, no, you can only get alimony for up to 5 years or some shit like that. So these bitches was mad about that shit.
Dang.
Yeah, but that don't make no sense though. Why I'm still paying you for divorce we got 20 years ago? That don't make no sense.
I mean, if you was rich and we were getting a divorce and I hated you that much, I would get
I don't
alimony
even
for
think it got nothing to
20
do.
years.
Personally, I don't even think it got nothing to do with hate. I think
For
if
20
someone,
years?
this has nothing to do with hate. If the state allowed me, I don't care if the state allowed me to sue the richest man in Florida. They allowed me to be like, hey, I'm gonna get paid from this person for 20 years. I would do it. I don't give who the fuck don't want to just get paid millions for free for 20 years.
I know, I agree with you
Who
on
the
that.
fuck wouldn't take that? I
I
take
totally
that
agree
deal
with
all
you.
day. It's the problem is that she's allowed to do it because anyone who's allowed to do something was going to do it. If you allow me to do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are. I for say we're the only ones watching ourselves. Fuck, it's been like 10 minutes.
Man, that is so crazy though. Like the way divorces work.
I mean, see, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't even think that definitely. I don't even think it has nothing to do with hate. I think like anyone on earth, if you fucking
Well, no, I think it is hate because I'm gonna be real. Like, there's a difference between vengeance and just like, oh, I don't want to be with you. Like, take what you have, I'll have what I have. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, just leave me the fuck alone.
fuck no. I
And
don't even.
then there's the I don't like
I
you.
could still be head over heels in love with you, but if I goddamn get this money and I can keep getting it for the next 20 years, fuck it, let me take it. Why not? It's free money.
Yeah.
Why would you ever stop the money from coming in?
I had seen something like that where a person was like, I have to pay my ex-husband money and I have the child full time, like I have to pay him money.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head I was like, dang, that's when you be like, I'm downgrading in life and I'm just gonna be a nothing. So you have nothing to take.
Well,
And then I believe like the judge made her pay
yeah, they do, because even if you
to
have full custody, if you make more money than this man and he cannot have the same living conditions you have, the court will make you pay him so that when the child goes visit him, the child has the same type of living conditions. So you would basically have to
well,
keep up his living
I don't know
condition.
about all the keep up to match. I don't know about none of
You
that shit.
would. That's what you would have to do.
That's not true. But I do believe
Huh?
like I'm just saying like
How are you saying that's not true when you
because I
just
don't
said the
believe,
story?
yes, I don't believe like what, just because I said that story it does
Then
not
why is she paying him
because
alimony?
it doesn't match up. I don't know exactly what, but it's not because she needs to make sure his lifestyle matches her lifestyle so
I
that
didn't
when the
say
child,
lifestyle. I said living conditions.
okay, living
Because if
conditions is
he does not
lifestyle.
make the same type money, no, he don't make the same type money you got. So now he's living in the hood and you live in a nice area. The child should still have the same living conditions.
No, I don't agree with you on
Well,
this.
why do you think they give women alimony and child support? Why do you think that is?
I think he got alimony from her because she made so much
I
money.
know, but the legal terms, the reason why they give women and men alimony and child support, what is that reason?
Babe,
It
obviously I
is to
don't know.
maintain living conditions.
Yes, Stala, but I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with you. So I don't know what to say. If
Okay.
that's what you think, that's what you
I'd be like,
think.
why don't just ask Google or Chat GPT, because
I
that is
mean, okay, so
why.
then you do it. Just because I disagree, I'm solid on my I disagree with it, and I don't feel like I need to Google it to make myself feel more solid. So I'm not doing that. If that makes you feel better for the argument,
I just don't
then
like.
you
I
do
don't like
it.
arguing about silly shit that's like
I'm not
fairly.
arguing. Like, if you feel that way, you feel that way. I do not believe it's always like that. I think her situation, because I don't know the whole story, I'm just telling you off the top of my
So look, I'm
head.
just going to read it to you. Alimony, also known as spousal support, is a payment from one spouse to another after a divorce, designed to help the lower earnings divorced spouse maintain similar standards of living.
Dude, are you like lost and I don't already understand that?
You just said you don't agree with me.
I don't agree with you. Like, this is literally what you said. If he lives in the hood and she don't live in the hood and you need to maintain that type of
That is why
living.
she has to pay him alimony. That
That
is
is
the.
that is
I
that is
just read it to you. The purpose
look,
of alimony is to make sure the divorced spouse has similar living conditions.
look, I understand what similar living conditions is, and I do understand what is the purpose of alimony. But I'm saying for that particular situation, as she have the child 100%, she does not have to maintain his lifestyle to that level. She may have to do it because he
But then
asked for
why
her
is she paying him?
because she asked for alimony and he may not have been working. So now, because he may not have been working and she was taking care of the household, the judge have no choice but to meet certain requirements because he wasn't doing shit,
Why does the
and she
judge feel
allowed it.
compelled to meet these requirements?
Not because of the child to meet that living standards. It's just so that the spouse can have standards that were similar to what they were living for before they separated. It has nothing to do with the child.
Okay.
But that's just my view on it.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing to do with, well, your child is in here, so therefore they need to go to school like this over there.
Then why would you bring up she has the child and she still has to pay him?
Because that's what I remember from the story. And I'm sorry, me giving details about the story that I remember make it have to be like I need to know all of the details. I do not. But I could tell you off
You don't gotta
rip,
know
I
all the
don't.
details, but I know for a fact the judge ain't giving nobody no money unless they need to keep up a certain similar living style. Otherwise,
Yes,
you
and
don't get
I
money.
mean, I think like you don't get the part where there could be a man who stays in a house and does not work, and now there's a female who's been working for 6, 8, 12 plus months, and now to a judge, when you go to them and be like, well, he wasn't working because he was in the house taking care of the child, and then she was working, but she don't want to be with him no more, but she still want to keep a child, or well, you were taking care of him, so now you have to continue taking, even though he is not living with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility. I don't know. But I do know it has absolutely nothing to do with you need to have the same place so that when my child come to visit you, because
it's maintaining similar living conditions.
it's not about maintaining similar living conditions for the child. It has nothing to do with for the child. Like absolutely nothing. And I say that because here's a great example of it. If you had if a parent had full custody for a child and they were living in a rich area, and then the next parent is poor, just because the next parent is poor and the other person have full custody does not give the judge permission to be like, well, they don't have the same living standards, so now because your child needs to go visit their daddy or their mommy, now you need to make sure the living standards are exactly the same. And it's never been like that, and it's not like that. There are multiple events where mom or the dad, somebody, one of them is on the extreme opposite of how they're doing, and them maintaining lifestyle is based upon either whether that parent is wanting to give extra money for their child, but not because it's to maintain the lifestyle for the child. Like judges don't be like, oh, you need to have this
So
in
you
order
want me
to
to prove you wrong
maintain.
on this too?
Like everything to use about proving wrong.
Because you're wrong.
Okay, well then feel that way.
I
I'm
don't have to
giving
feel
my
that way. I know
well
that
then
way.
go great for you. I'm happy you solidly feel however you feel, and I'm allowed to feel how I feel. So whether I want to feel how I feel and you feel how you feel, that's okay. This is called a conversation where we have conversations about it, but you seem to always need to like win or be
I
right,
don't. No,
and I
I
just
like
don't
fact. I
agree
don't.
with
I
you
go off
on
of
it.
fact and fiction. So I
Okay, so
mean,
then start looking it up. Like,
okay.
is there a parent? If a parent is poor, does the next parent who have full custody need to make sure that
I
the
don't
other
need to look
parent
that up
is?
specifically. It's something very simple. I'm telling you, the judge will make you pay that person more. If you have a different living style,
That
you are
is
making
not.
money. Yes,
Well,
they
then
will.
go
Happens
ahead.
to men all the time.
Hey, I think you're missing this whole point. If you have full custody over a child, that means that the house is where you live.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to do with the next parent who they're not living with.
Okay, and a woman can
You
have
do
full
not.
custody over a
You
child, and
do
if you
not
are
have
making
to
a
do
certain
that.
amount of money and she is not living up to your standards, the judge will make you pay her more.
I just think like you also like not taking in consideration all the other things that like go into play. Like everybody's situation is not the same. So to sit here and be like, this is how it is, it's not. Like every
What do
situation
you
plays
mean?
differently.
I don't think that many situations play out differently in court.
If there's a rich parent and whoever has the children, then the person who doesn't have the kids are the one who pay child support, whether you're poor or rich. You're the person who's paying child support.
Okay.
So that's a fact. So if you want to talk about
Okay.
a parent who have more money and they're not with the kids, of course they're gonna.
The child support and you have the child.
If the rich person did have the kids, and
You can have full custody of your child and still have to pay your spouse child support.
as far as
Yeah.
or that's just going off of like me who have a friend who had to deal with it, and it's like it's cool. It's cool. It's not like, oh, this is some great thing that I need to like feel some type of way about. I just,
Yes, it's possible to have full custody of the child and still be required to pay child support.
why would you be required to pay child support?
A lot of different reasons, but the main one is financials. You just make more money. I'm telling you, even if you have full custody over that child and your spouse makes less money than you, they're going to make you pay them child support to help maintain their living conditions.
It's not true.
All
And
right.
again, you're going off of Google, and I'm
Wait.
going off of somebody who this
Majority of the time,
happened.
a parent may be ordered to pay child support. This is because the custodial parent is responsible for the majority of the day-to-day expenses. Factors determine child support, calculating basis. I'm just waiting to read that one line that say living conditions because I know it's a fact.
Don't have to maintain living conditions, else every divorced parent would live the same. And it's not like that. So just search that up.
Most of the time, the one who doesn't live the same is the one who has to pay all the child support.
But it
Or the one
doesn't
who's
like
paying all the
I
alimony.
think like you're like missing the factor here. If if it were that you're trying to match that parents live this move, the parents live the same, then it would be like that. But it's not like.
No, what I'm trying to say is that the most times when someone gets divorced and then they have different living conditions and one person's in a better living condition than the other one, most times it's the woman divorcing the man and she took the house, she took half his money, she has child support. So now he has to downgrade in living and go move to an apartment or something. And no, she won't have to pay him because she don't even got a fucking job. He has to continue to pay her. That's the only time it's like that.
I mean, that's normal.
I
What
understand,
else?
but that's the only time it's like that. Never is it like one person's making all the money and they get to stay in their house and they get to keep on living the way they want to while the other person doesn't. No, you're going to have to pay that person who makes less money.
You're gonna have to pay the person who make less money, and it's dependent upon the state that you live in. So every state have different rules for how they handle divorces, and that's just basically where it goes at. And then it also takes in consideration how much people make. It takes in consideration whether or not you decided to quit your job, or your spouse told you, I want you to be a housewife, and now you quit your job, and being a housewife means that you wasn't working for all these years, and now
Your
they
spouse,
have to
man, you
pay.
know, most time the spouse don't tell you you don't gotta work. Them hoes be like, I ain't working.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know. Like when you hear people talk about divorce, you don't hear about poor people divorcing because there ain't shit for them to like argue over who got what. Like the bills, the unpaid bills. Like what? The used
That
couch?
is true.
What the fuck do you want? The cups? Like the plastic cups?
I think if a bitch petty, yeah, she will fucking get them plastic cups. Yeah, she
I
will.
mean, I'm just being real. You hear people talk about divorces, and it made sense when there's like a lot of money involved in it. You don't hear about no middle class like divorce. Talk about, oh yeah, well, she got the water heater and he got the water dispenser. I don't know. I'm just saying, like you have to have shit to get a divorce. Else you're just getting separated. Like
The
what do
same
you
thing as
call
divorce, both ways,
no,
bro.
what do you call poor divorces? Because they obviously have to be something like that. Like a divorce is when you're trying to mutually separate things together. That's what I look at it as. Okay, that's not it, but that's what it should be as, because if I'm getting a divorce from you, what am I divorcing? What am I separating if there's nothing to separate?
Oh, that's cool.
If you have literally nothing, then what you arguing about?
Shit, motherfuckers still argue. Niggas argue about anything.
You know how there's some people who like leave and then all they leave with is the shit that's in the car?
Like I got motherfucker right now. I went to high school with. These niggas started dating and shit, and they on vacation together right now. And he's like, "Oh, my wife be out acting like this. How my wife act? She like how my act. How?" I'm like, "Bro, y'all just started dating. Ain't no fucking way y'all married. Who y'all trying to make jealous? Ain't no fucking way they married. Yeah, but they pretending they married.
Why are you jealous? They're pretending to be married.
Fuck no. He's stupid. I would have never dated that bitch. He's
Well,
stupid. I mean, when we was in high school, we was all in the same grade. We had classes together, all of us. Man, that bitch had a 20-something-year-old boyfriend. She wouldn't talk to nobody in high school. Now all of a sudden you got 2 kids. You trying to circle back and be with? No, I've been like, hell no, bitch. You any female who I'm talking to, you should have liked me from the jump. I don't do that. Now, if you like me from the jump and we ain't end up dating and nothing like that, and then we circle back and started talking again later, that's different. But if you just straight up just had disdain from me from the beginning, hell no, it's not happening. Why you like me all of a sudden? That's how I am. I don't like that. No, why all of a sudden you like me, bitch? Because ain't nobody else, nobody don't want you now. Fuck that. No. Mm-mm. But that's how motherfuckers be though, especially the age we at.
what age do you think we at?
The
What
age I think we at. I know how old I am. The
well,
fuck?
what do you call it? Like what season is this?
Early 30s.
What
A lot of
season?
people finna start getting settled down when they should not be getting settled down with the person they're trying to settle with at our age. They just trying to hurry it up.
Trying to not be alone.
Yes, they just
They're
trying
like,
to.
fuck, I've
They,
been alone this long.
not even fuck. I'm been alone this long. They just can't believe. Yeah, they can't believe they're alone right now. So they're just gonna. Right now is the time people just gonna start getting shocked up for absolutely no reason.
Then, do you think they unshack?
Hell yeah, they're gonna break up in a couple of years.
Hmm.
Yep, yep. Be right back in the same situation at 36. Yep, yep.
Dang, 36?
Yeah. Date for a couple of years and then you're single again. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dang, it really sucks.
Yep. That's just how it is. Yep.
You know, sometimes I be thinking, like, is love this hard? If love is this hard, why do people not just like do like magic or like voodoo?
Is love is hard. No, I think we've made it more hard and complicated now. I think back in the past, love was way more easier. People didn't trip over the shit that we trip about now, and it was okay. And I think now that people, yeah, I mean, even if you think about it, like I'm just bringing it up, like I think in like the 1980s, 40 years ago, the divorce rate in America was like 20%, 15%. You get what I'm saying? You know the divorce rate now? It's almost 90%. It's flip. So you think shit was that much different in the 80s? I don't think so. I just think that people weren't doing the same. They weren't
I mean,
tripping about the same shit.
I think it is a lot different. First off, we have social media that has changed like
Social
life.
media affects women more than it affects men, though.
I just think it changed life. And if you want to say it affects women more than it affects men, as in like you see more women on there.
No, there's no. It affects women more than it affects men because women believe they have more options because of social media. More men are DMing them, more men are in their comments, men are liking their pictures.
But men also get to believe that they have more options too.
No, we are not that dumb. You have them bitches on it. I like hella pictures on IG. I do not think the bitches want me now.
Man, I don't think it's like, you know what? You know how you have mentioned there are guys who would just stick around and be there until like you're like single or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, just because you think that the bitch don't like you, don't mean that you're not gonna still try to shoot your shot and still talk to like 25 of them and still,
How does that make me? I don't understand how that would make fuck up a man's psyche though. Just because I
who
shoot my shot.
said? But that's it. No one talked about fucking up a woman or man psyche.
No,
That was never a fuck up. Like, so I'm
we
trying
were
to
talking about
understand
the difference
like,
between 1980s and now, and you were saying because of social media, and I'm saying no, social media affects women way more than it affects men.
okay, so I'm still trying to understand how does this fuck it up? Like,
I don't because just
that
because
doesn't
a
matter to
man
me.
might shoot his shot, shoot that motherfucker hitting the wall. Ain't nobody responding.
Well, you see, I don't view it that way. I view it as in the past, men had to work harder or do certain things to be able to even talk to females, and now it's like,
Hell no, it was easier.
no,
It was way easier.
now it's not like that hard. And then to top it off, if it was that easy, then therefore you could still use those old methods because they're still there. It's just a face-to-face moment. And then you talk.
The bitch is different though. They different.
I just think like, aside from women also knowing options, like it still don't change the fact that a man is going to be just as mindful as he wants to be, whether it was with social media or without social media. But I do believe like you guys have more options now too. But that's just me.
Less.
Okay, well, that's your opinion, and I believe like y'all do as men. Like having social media literally takes you out from
before social media, men
you
had
have
more
now
options.
you can shop like for women through a region.
Certain men can. Before social media, men had more options.
Like we can't sit here and just try to talk about certain men and certain women. I'm just talking about
because only certain men can go online on social media and be like, who do I want to?
Yes, but only certain females could also do that too.
That's not true. A bitch can talk to anybody she wants to on social media.
We can sit here and like literally go off of it's only certain. I'm just saying like general. If you look at a general
hold on.
consensus.
I'm gonna stop you right there. No, a average girl with 1,000 followers could literally DM Drake and he might respond, "Hey baby, what's up?"
What's your point? What are you
That
trying to
you
prove?
just said that women can't either. Yes, they can. They can holler at whoever they want to.
I'm not saying that woman cannot do it. I'm just saying like it's there. Like I'm not gonna ignore the fact that
No,
people are
no.
doing it to men
I
and
said only
women.
certain men can go online and scroll and just pick whatever woman they want to talk to. And you said, yeah, same thing for women. No, bitches can holler at whoever they want to.
I'm saying that because it's not about you hollering. It's just about the fact like what are you gonna do? Like
What
how
do you
what
mean?
just the fact that you're online and you're on social media means that you are now not restricted to just where you live, what's right in front of you, what can your eyeball. So you can go to a different state, you can go to a different region, like dating the dating game or just talking to people or meeting people has definitely
Dating for
changed.
men was better before social media, before you could reach other states, before you could do that. That shit, all that shit is for women. It was better for men before that. When the girl next door or 5 houses down the street couldn't go online and get talked to online, before that was better. Because now when you talk to her in a grocery store, she might actually listen to you. Now you try to talk to the bitch in the grocery store, she's like, nah, I got such and such talking to me and such. That is worse for men now.
Okay. And as much as like I hear what you have to say, I don't agree with it.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's okay. Like, like people, you don't have to like prove a point to me, and you don't have to like feel so adamant about your point where nobody else could have a point because everybody else's point is dumb because you feel as though yours is so right. Like, we're just talking.
The
So
only
I
time I
don't
have a
like
problem
agree.
with anything is when I know I'm right.
Okay,
If
and if
I
you know
don't
you're
know
right,
I'm
then
right,
what's wrong with
if
like
I
letting
don't
people
know
just
I'm right,
be?
I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be like, okay.
Yeah, but I just don't like see where just because you know you're right, it just feels as though everybody else needs to like what? Be dumb?
I didn't say you was dumb, so
Well,
I don't
I mean, it's not
understand.
about like even you having to say it, just the fact that you would be over here just like, well, I know I'm right. Yeah, you're wrong because you're wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't know what you're talking about.
okay, and
Why would
that's
social media help
cool.
men at all? It doesn't
It's
help
not
men.
it's not about it is helping men.
It
So this
didn't help the
this
situation.
conversation started off stating like social media has made the dating game change for both men and women. And I want to say like it's not only made it easier, but you have a lot more options for both men and women, and that is just because you're no longer dating what's right in front of you. You can literally date over regions. And I believe that extends not only to women, but I believe it also extends to men. And then you went to
Women
come in to
only
say
swipe right
some.
on dating apps 5% to men. So only 5% of men are even actually able to talk to most women. On social media, women do not respond to men on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, anything. If you are not already verified or famous in some
Look,
kind of way,
I
women do not
I
respond to
just
you.
I just need to I just need to remind you that the old ways of dating are still very much right here. This is just an addition
And that
to
is
how
worse
much
as
people could
well
do.
because women's minds are overinflated with how much options they think they have online. Their
But
minds are
then
overinflated, so even if you tried to talk to a bitch who should actually talk to you outside in public, she wouldn't even talk to
but
you.
then this is where you could look at it, and whilst you say like woman heads are inflated, a man head is overinflated as well. He watched so much porn, I could see all this, I
How
could
the
talk to
fuck
this
does that
bitch or
make
do
your head
that.
overinflated because you watch porn? That would make you even more feel worse. You beating it. You can't get none. How is that gonna make your mind inflated?
So there was like a little study that was done, and I forgot what it was, but it was about like this island of people who didn't really like have computers or shit, and somehow they got hold of porn. And like the guys are like over simulated because they just had access to it. And it's not to say like, oh, okay, just because you have access to these things, there's anything wrong with it. It's just like you the same way that you would say like, oh, a woman believes that she has other options. Like,
Yes, because people are actively pursuing her. How is because I watched this video and whacked my meat? Why would that give me any extra confidence?
it's not so much about like give you extra confidence, but it changed like how you would interact with people. Like,
How?
Because I believe like a person who I think a person who watches more porn than another person may have like different interactions with people, maybe a little bit more into certain things. May like
No, it
I
makes
don't
no
know.
sense.
Okay, cool.
That made no fucking sense. Why nothing you brought up would make a man's overinflated ego or make him confident. Nothing you brought up would make a man.
It's not only to me. It's not like not only about making somebody confident. It's just like I don't believe that just because social media exists, that women are the only people who sit around or stand around or however around to just believe like, or we're the only ones who believe that we have options or have.
All right, so this is where you messing up at. First of all, it's not believe. These are facts. There are statistics on all of this stuff. People are actively studying this shit right now. And it is a fact. Men do not get responses on social media like women do. We don't get likes. There's nothing. This the exact opposite experience on social media for man and woman. We could both post pictures right now on our social media. I might get 5 likes tonight. How many would you get? It's a difference. We do not have the same inflated ego that women have from social media. And nothing you said would give us an inflated ego. Why the fuck would beating my meat make me feel any better?
It's not about, oh, I beat my meat, so now I feel better. It's just the fact like you just have access, having access to all these things change how you interact with people. You having access to social media changes how you interact with people. You may not interact in real life the same way that you used to because now you could use social
I
media.
agree with you on that. But that was my point towards the women. Their hairs is overinflated. And then you tried to use the same argument on me. Now you can say that such and such is happening to men because they have social media. I might agree with you. You might say such and such and this is happening to men because of social media. I might agree with you. But to say the exact same thing that's happening to women is happening to men, no, it's not.
Well, it's not about the exact same thing that's happening to women or it's happening to men. It's about a fact like they're still affected by it. Like
I
people are
agree
like,
with you. And then another
you
thing,
have, but then again, like I also believe that social media gives you more option whether you are a man
no,
or woman, because if you think about it, if you want to talk about talking to people, the way that men would have met people in the old days is still very much right there. The difference right now is there's an addition of that too, because now instead of only face to face, you can actually use social media. So whilst you will tell me like, oh, I don't agree with that, well, you didn't take anything away. You added more options for them. So if you're making the pool bigger, how could you somehow say the
Ariel,
pool is
I'm
smaller?
just going to say this one more time. There are literally statistics on this. People are actively studying these things right now.
I'm not deaf or dumb. I heard you say
Okay,
this already.
so then I don't understand why you are saying what you're saying.
Because if you're it's another way to talk to
Men do not have
people.
more options on the online. No, they do not. Men are more lonely now because of social media than ever. Men do not get responses. We do not get swipes. There's only the top 5% of men who even get talked to on those platforms. Women do not talk to men on those platforms. They do not.
Okay.
And I will just say it once again, there are statistics, there are studies. People are actively studying these things right now.
Okay, I really don't care about your statistics. So I'm sorry for however that makes you feel. I just like definitely it's not like math is not adding. If you add another way to communicate with somebody or with people, you can't take away the regular way to communicate, which we've all known, which is just face to face, talk to talk, like talk,
Okay.
use your mouth. So when you add, now you can do this online and then make it bigger than just like your area, which is
Yes, when
statistically
you
what
add it
people would have
online
did.
and you make it bigger than your area, now women are able to be even more picky.
And it's not to say that I don't understand that that is true. It's just out of the fact that just because women are more picky doesn't make the whole dating pool for men just like swivels and then
Yes, it
nothing.
does. Because even before social media was added, do you know the percentage of men who was even able to date women and procreate? It's only 40%. So added social media, that number dropped 30%. It dropped. They aren't interested in all the men anymore. They only want the top men. The men that they see online who are taking women on vacations or maybe doing this, cars or this and that. Some men are just attractive, correct, and they might get a little bit of couple women that might talk to them, but that is not nearly the same as what a woman is getting.
But this is nothing to do about like it's a man matching a woman. This is just about the fact like you have more options. It's more than just talking.
For certain men, yes.
So that's it. It's not an anything. I'm not trying to like who have more. It's not a race. I'm not trying to see who finishes first, like who got a bigger pie. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just about the fact, like if we're talking about the old days and these days, when you talk about social media enhance on both sides.
No, I didn't.
Okay, and you don't feel that way, but I do. So like all your studies, like great. I don't know what to say. We're talking about.
I mean, at least I got something that could back up what I'm talking about. You just got
how
I feel and I believe.
You don't really like even have any studies.
Yes, I
do.
You
have like something you may have believed that you see.
What the fuck are you talking about? I have literally.
Well, why don't you wait? Let me finish and say what I finished before you just. I'm not. I didn't finish. No sense. Yeah, like it's not like you have like your own statistics or nothing. You have
my own statistics, so I gotta ask them to do the surveys.
No, it's not about like you have like a set number. Like even if I was supposed to ask you right now, who did the survey? How many people were surveyed?
University of Cambridge.
You can't give me amount. You can't tell me how many people were surveyed.
There was 1,000 people surveyed in one. There was 500,000 people surveyed in another. One was done in 2018. One was done in 21. One was done in 2023.
Come on, let's see.
Come on, like, cause you don't make no sense, and you just sitting there trying to talk like you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
No, it's not about. I don't know what I'm.
Study on what specifically? Oh, you want me to look up? Cause they are all there.
Well, then choose something that you feel as though you'll find. Okay. Because I mean, like, just to be honest, is I don't agree. You make a pie bigger and then be like your pie is smaller. No, the pie is not smaller. I'm sorry, I just don't feel that way.
The pie did get smaller.
And then to top it off, like if you really think about it, like I think one big factor that changed like a lot from how old days were to new days right now is the fact that women can get jobs and work.
What is the fuck that has to do with anything?
We couldn't get to do a bunch of stuff, so we didn't have any choice but to be behind a man. Yeah, but it's we didn't have like the ability to
don't even go down this road because
it's fine. I don't care. Like gosh, like I don't talk to you so that you can just like literally just like make me feel wrong all the time.
I just don't understand what you're talking about. I don't give a fuck. Women have always been able to work. So what do you mean by that?
It's about the fact like when we live in a household, sometimes there was a certain point in time where we needed to be like represented by a man, and so we were like owned by men.
No, you weren't.
Okay.
The only thing women were not able to do was own their own bank account. That was literally the only thing. They were always been able to work. Boston University 2024, National Institute of Health did a study in 2023. University of Oxford did a study in 2022. Yeah, I mean,
you're just reading it like about what?
The effects of social media on men and women.
Okay, and what? You just telling me who did it, but nothing about the results?
I could tell you the results on whichever one you want to hear the results on. I just wanted to show you because you were sitting there saying that I was pulling all this shit out my ass and that, oh, well, you don't know the schools in what year. No, it's not I'm trying to tell you there are multiple. Almost every major university across the country is studying this. These are things that are actively being studied right now.
Okay, and you can actively like keep talking about it and let me know how you feel about it. Like, it's cool. It still does not change the fact that I don't have enough evidence. As nothing is making sense.
You have not even enough. You have none.
I
for
know,
what you're
but you
talking
also
about.
didn't
You
give
have
anything. All you said
none.
is there are a bunch of people who doing studies. That's it. What is the
And
study
and
about?
then once again,
I
when
don't
you say there's
know.
nothing to tell you, what do you want to know?
I mean, you're the person who's talking about all these studies. So, what on social media studies are they doing that is saying it's so different between men and
They
women?
did a study on negative impacts. They did one study on gender differences within the relationships. They have another one on gender and social media use, social media negative impacts on women more than men. That's what this study says. Boston University, social media negatively impacts women more than men. Study did in
Okay, so
2024.
then, so then, doesn't that prove my point? Like, didn't you say that? Oh no, it affects men more, and like women are winning from this. So how?
What? No, I
The,
said social media affects women more than men. That is what I've been saying since the beginning of the argument. I don't know what you're
okay,
talking about.
whatever, cool.
I don't even know what you. I don't even know how you twisted that just now to say that. Why would I say it affects men more? It don't affect us at all. Actually, social media barely affects men at all, but it affects women a lot.
You're saying they have so much options that they don't want us anymore, so they're affecting how
No, I
much
didn't
we
say
talk
they
to
don't
them.
want us anymore. They just all want the same ones.
Yeah, but then it still puts that same bubble right out there. There are gonna be men just because you're a man, whether or not you can get pussy or not, it does not change the fact that a man is still going to attempt to try to get that pussy.
Oh,
So
they gonna
you're
try.
still gonna talk. You're
They
still
gonna.
gonna do the exact same
Yeah, they
thing.
gonna try.
If you can talk in person, which is the way that people were dating in the past, now you get another option to also talk to people online
Mhm,
and then move it away from just your neighbors and your neighborhood to like
mhm,
literally the state next door.
mhm.
Obviously you have options. It's
You
more.
don't have the only time Ario. So let me ask you this, right? You go to a car lot. They have a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, right? And then they have a Honda, and then they have the car we have right out there outside, right? Just because they have all these cars in this lot, which ones of them are actually options?
And again, it's still
No,
don't.
wait.
I
And you only
understand
can
what you're
have an
saying,
option
but you're
if it's an
like,
actual option. Just because you shot your shot don't mean that's an option.
but it doesn't change the fact that a man is still gonna shoot his shot, whether
And no
it's the
one
option.
arguing that.
Right. So whether or not you telling me or arguing the fact that women are gonna respond to that option or not, it doesn't matter. Because to
That's not
him,
an option.
whether it is or not, he don't care. He's still gonna shoot his shot.
Exactly. But
Okay, so it
what?
doesn't matter
But
whether
how
or
does that
not,
mean? How does that mean that's an option for him?
because he's still shooting a shot to
That
more
don't
than
mean it's an
he's
option.
still shooting
It's
his
only an option if she responds.
he's still shooting his shot to more than the amount of women he could have shot his shot to if he was talking in person.
And that and so what? You could have maybe talked to 10 people on one day and got zero responses. Now you can talk to 100, and guess what? You're still gonna get
Yeah,
zero
but then
responses.
if you were supposed to be like, oh, this was a cute guy, whether you ugly or cute changes how much responses you may have. I can't change that. Like God, I know when you look in the mirror, you kind of like figure out which side you want to lay down. But that's not my fault. But it still does.
You do realize women find 80% of all men unattractive.
Shit, I don't know. Uh, I can't keep up with this shit. Like, what am I supposed to do? Figure out what other people want?
No, I'm just first of all, we're having this conversation. I'm speaking about things that I know this shit like the back of my hand. So I'm just letting you know. No, most men ain't even attractive to most women. So what the fuck?
But this is it. I'm not arguing anything that you're telling me. Like these things that you keep like making full sentences on. I have never said that attractive men are liked by more women or not. Like I've never said anything about this. Nothing I have stated have been like this. My only statement have always been and still is right now, social media has given more options to men, and you keep saying no. And then
No,
I
it's
give
not.
you okay, and then I gave you the example of the fact that whether or not you're ugly or good looking, a man is still gonna shoot his shot, whether he believes he can get that shot or not.
And
So if
what?
you
How
can
the
shoot
hell?
more buckets, then therefore you have more chances than if you shoot less
No,
buckets.
you don't.
Okay, and this is where like I don't know. 5
Yeah,
is
you
greater
don't
than
know.
2. Okay, well, 5 is greater than 2 to me,
I understand. I
and
understand how I
it's gonna
understand how it
seem
seems to you,
the
but just
same
them
way.
shot. It's like in person that bucket might be this big. Online, that shit in the group went this small. So now you
Yeah,
throwing a basketball through a hole this big.
it doesn't matter about like, oh, that basketball hole is small or like whatever. It's still the fact, like it's still more
First of
than
all, if you
what
gonna
the
pick up
oldies
a
had.
female on Instagram, your shit better look immaculate, nigga. I mean, you better be traveling. You better have pictures with you holding up your wrist with the diamonds in your wrist, because the bitch ain't talking to you. While she not talking to you. No, just give it up, dog. She not talking to you. Nah, not happening. You gotta actually, I think you got a better chance on a dating app than hollering at bitches on Instagram. Fuck no. It's like a fucking war zone on Instagram. What the fuck? Nah, you got no chance on Instagram at all. No chance, no shot. Um, let's see. Ooh, excuse me. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I was listening to whatever podcast today, and a female was all like, "It's so hypocritical for guys with a high body count to want a girl with low body count." And I mean, they broke down her argument so fast. Sometimes females don't think about what they say before they say it, and I get it. And he was like, "So that's hypocritical?" She was like, "Yeah, I understand. It's just not fair." And he was like, "Well, do you like tall guys?" She was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Are you tall?" She was like, "No." He was like, "Oh." He's like, don't you think a lot of women like men with money, even though they don't have any money? She's like, yeah. He's like, is that hypocritical? She's like, no. He's like, oh, so why is it only hypocritical when we want something that we don't have? But when y'all want something that you don't have, it's not hypocritical, it's just preference. You know? But damn. No, but he had said something that broke down her whole fucking argument. And I just thought it was so fucking funny. What that motherfucker said. Who is Oh, that's Curry. Um, damn. Damn. I lost my train of thought. Let me go to this goddamn. Yeah, we can end them on soon. The most views we had this whole goddamn time been two. One person watching, one person commented. No likes. Let me try this. Try this. I'm gonna I'm gonna end it and then try to put it back up. Oh, somebody commented, "Life is hypocritical." Dakota Miller. What the fuck? Why didn't I see that on my phone? And no one's watching right now. I'm gonna end it and try to bring it back up and see if maybe they give us a better chance with the